Good morning. I'm stepping out of the greenhouse. Since we last spoke, only a couple of days ago, welcome to Thursday morning, by the way. I've been very, very busy on the allotment and on the house. I've just been hiding in the greenhouse whilst I finished a piece of toast. And the chickens have been watching me through the glass, getting very annoyed that I haven't been to feed them yet, so I think that's the first thing I should do. That reminds me, I'm now back in the greenhouse. I haven't took the eggs home from yesterday, so let's get them while we're at it. They're picked up, they're in a wicker basket, because, you know, why not make everything look like the darling buds of May? Right, crawling over the fence, climbing over it, and walking down the path to see the chickens. Right, let's put these eggs on the floor. Slurp of coffee, #drinkwatch. Right, let's put that on the table actually. They have been known to drink it if I take it in there with me. Good morning, girls. Out the way, shoo. They're all extremely eager. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a broody one. I bet she's in the coop. Let's have a look. Lift the lid on the nesting box. Oh, there are 2 of them in there. Must have miscounted. I've got a very broody one and one that I think is just laying an egg. So I'll leave them both. Normally I would shoo out the broody one to try and break her broodiness. But as she's laying next to someone who's probably actually laying, I'll give them some privacy. Right, let's feed the birds. So there's a different one this morning because as I go into the feed bin, their actual feed is empty. So I haven't had a chance to go and see. Go and see my man at the chicken shop. So I've been chucking them corn for 2 days, which actually I thought they'd love, but I think they really like their chicken feed. I feed them Layers mash or Layers crumble normally, and they've got none of that left, so they're on corn, which normally they get excited about in the afternoons. But it's not good to feed them corn all the time, really, unless you're feeding them other stuff as well. So I will ensure I go to the chicken shop today. They've got half a thing of water left, so that'll do for now. I will come and refresh that water later, and I will leave the chicken run. There we go. I'm not going to let them out into the open prison today. Oh, well, I am today, but not right now, because they've been escaping the open prison. They were initially constrained by its boundaries, but no longer. They're adventuring out through the gaps that they can fit through, so I will have to block those with chicken wire, which means buying some chicken wire. So that will be 50 quid down the spout. I think it's 50 quid for 100 metres, I think. or it might just be 50 metres. I think it's 50 quid for 100 metres. So I'll have to go and buy 100 metres of that and run it round the perimeter of their prison. I say prison, I mean it's probably, what, 200 or 300 square metres. Anyway, there we go. I'm going to have a little seat on the table and chairs. The weather is glorious. Not quite as baking hot as it has been at this time of day for the last few days, but nonetheless very pleasant. Very exciting news from yesterday. I got a big hole knocked in the side of my house on purpose, so I can finally get in and out of the house without having to go in through very strangely positioned doors which take you on a trail basically through every room in the house before you can ever get to where you need to go. So from my kitchen I can now get straight outside, which is quite normal, but for my house a revelation. Other exciting news from yesterday: 2 of my cherry trees that are in the lawn excuse me, have actually grown cherries. They're fruiting. Now they flower in the springtime quite often, but they've never fruited before, and it was very surprising to find yesterday actual cherries on the cherry tree. Probably shouldn't be that surprised, but I'll have to look up why I've never seen them before. Ever in all of the 10 years or so, a few more years than that, I've been coming here, and the 2 or 3 years that I've lived here, never ever seen cherries on the cherry trees. So that's very exciting, because I like cherries. Let's have another look around some other fruit trees. So I'm now stood about 5-6 metres away from the chicken run, and I'm inside their open prison. And when I look out of the open prison, I can see about 15 or 20 soft fruit bushes that are really starting to bear fruit. We've got gooseberries, although that bush is in a very sorry state, and we've got red currants and black currants, and there's lots of those bushes. And I haven't traditionally harvested them because they're a bit of a faff, and the fruit's very small, and I'm not much of a cook, and I just normally let the birds have them. But this year I'm going to do something, if there are any left, because will be the main problem. I've got nothing to cover them up with, and I don't intend to cover them, so there might not be much left when the time it comes, but I'd say in the next 10 or 15 days they look like they're going to be ready to pick. And then if I turn round, and this is still inside the open prison, there are 4 fruit trees, and we've got a plum tree, an apple tree, another apple, and then, I beg your pardon, that's it. There is another plum after that, but it's not in the prison. And that's the area where the chickens roam, and they have the shade of the fruit trees to sit under and the long grass to play in and peck around in, and a few other bits of entertainment, like some old cold frames that they like to go and give themselves dust baths in and things. And of course they've got their run and their coop available to them with their water and their food all day. And then outside of that, through the gate, which I've just opened, is the rest of the garden. We've got 10 raised beds, the polytunnel that blew away, there's just the frame remaining, a row of beans, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fruit trees. And that's fenced off to try and keep the chickens out, and that's what I'll be protecting later on. But I'm looking and I can see on the fruit trees mini fruits. So this year we'll have a better attempt at the cider making. The production side was okay, but the fermentation side was not good. We made lots of apple juice. We didn't do very well at turning it into booze. We sort of lost enthusiasm, but we will do so this year. And we will make plum gin this year. More plum gin because it went down a storm. I think the next few days the weather's going to turn and there's going to be quite a lot of rain, which will be good for the garden, but it does mean that today I need to get all my trimming done, otherwise I won't really be able to do it and mow, etc. in the next few days. But that's quite a quick job. That's half an hour's mucking about on the allotment. So that's on the agenda for today. Because this sunshine has not half made the weeds and the grass grow. Until tomorrow.